In this video, we're going to talk about what are the design principles of C#. We're going to talk a little bit about its history, what it was used for. We're also going to talk about what is a compiler and what is an IDE. And then we're going to look at the IDE in more detail in the next video. So first off, what is a compiler? A compiler is a program which translates code from one programming language into another, right? Why do we have compilers? Well, because there are some languages which are interpreted, right, where the computer kind of runs down them line at a time, figures out what each line means, and then executes it. And you think of languages like HTML for web pages or JavaScript also on web pages. C# is not like that. C#, you have to take the program and then it is transformed into a form that the computer understands, typically an executable file. And we'll see how that looks when we actually try it out in Visual Studio. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. I should talk a bit about the history of C# itself. C# was invented around the year 1999 or 2000 or thereabouts at Microsoft. I have the fourth edition of the specification right here. I'll just read you the first line. It says, C# is a simple, modern, object-oriented, type-safe programming language. C# has its roots in the C family of languages and will be immediately familiar to C, C++, and Java programmers. And then it goes on for another 800 pages. All right, let me unpack some of that a little bit. It is intended to be modern. Right? This is not a historical language. This is a language that is under active development. It is general purpose, and it is for line of business programs. Right? So you think about writing code on web pages, on phone apps. You write accounting software. Any sort of general purpose computing problem, you can solve it in C#. C# was designed for professionals. It was designed for, as the specification has said, it was designed for people who were already familiar with other programming languages like C, C++, or Java. It was not a programming language designed specifically to be used by novices. Right? And one of the design principles of C# is that it was designed to tell you when something looks wrong. It has a pretty aggressive error detection algorithm in it. And that differs from some other languages, like JavaScript, for example. Right? JavaScript was sort of designed with the idea that you have to kind of muddle through. Right? If something looks wrong, it's probably OK. Just keep on going. That's not at all how C# was designed. Right? The designers of C# believed that the professional developers who were going to be using it would like to be informed of any possible mistakes as early as possible. All right, so almost everything that we do in C# we do in an integrated development environment, usually abbreviated to IDE. And an IDE is just a program that helps you read existing code, and helps you change existing code, and it helps you write new code. We are going to be almost entirely writing new code in this course, but that's actually a little bit artificial. Right? Most of the time in my day-to-day job, I am not writing any new code at all. I am making slight modifications to large bodies of existing code. So it's important that the IDE help you understand existing code. Summing up, C#, modern programming language, pragmatic for professional programmers. They are solving real-world problems. It was designed to be familiar to developers who knew existing programming languages. The compiler is the bit of code that translates C# code into a form that the computer can understand, an executable file. And the IDE is the program that helps you do all of this. In the next video, we're going to take a look at the Visual Studio IDE.